Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video. After catching Hope with Finn, Steffy dismisses her. Deacon was taken aback by Il Giardino's exquisite decoration when he first visited. Dressed as a witch, Sheila asked him if he liked it. Deacon claimed that when he consented to some decorations, he had no idea what he was getting himself into. Since some customers might not find the axe and severed head decorations appealing, he instructed her to remove them. "Aren't you afraid?" Deacon inquired. "She certainly is," Carter thought. Deacon said he wanted to speak with Carter. "I've heard that you and my daughter have been having a relationship," Deacon remarked. Carter explained that Deacon was worried about Hope because of all the criticism she received from Steffy. "I wish to support her," Carter informed him. "She wants to improve the world and lives and breathes her line." Deacon remarked, "Brooke is correct. You are standing by our girl." As Deacon and Carter discussed Hope and her misfortune, Sheila kept bringing Halloween-themed drinks and nibbles. Deacon observed that Hope had been cheerful lately, and he wanted that to continue, whatever the reason. Carter pledged to look after Brooke and Hope no matter what. He wanted Hope to be a part of the fantastic things that were coming to Forrester, he informed Deacon. Hope remembered looking at lingerie with Carter earlier, while she sat at the desk in the design office. She remembered expressing interest in doing a modeling session with Carter. After browsing the new assortment, Hope picked up one and hurried behind the changing screen. Admire Days, B&B General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right away, click here. Behind the screen, Hope was putting on the lingerie when Finn entered carrying Steffy's tablet and proceeded to the desk to compose a note. Hope said, "Lock the door," as she heard someone enter. "I have been anticipating your arrival." She stumbled and fell over Finn after coming from behind the screen. When Steffy entered, she discovered Hope in lingerie on top of Finn, who was pinned down on the desk. "I hope you leave my husband now. You're trying to woo him again," yelled Steffy. "What are you thinking?" Finn clarified right away that he was clueless about Hope's actions. Steffy informed Finn that she was certain it was all Hope's fault, and that he had nothing to do with it. "You can still play with my husband in marriage, of course," Steffy said to Hope. Steffy was informed by Hope that she was completely mistaken. "I do," Steffy exclaimed. Steffy pondered whether Hope thought she was a fool. She cautioned Hope against claiming she was misinformed about what she had entered. "It was a misunderstanding," Hope insisted. "This is perfect for a Logan." Steffy yelled, "You're throwing yourself at my husband in your lingerie." Hope maintained that it wasn't what it appeared to be. "You're wearing lingerie, but why? Who would it be if not for Finn?" Steffy inquired. Hope refused to tell Steffy who she was dressed for, but she maintained that she wasn't attempting to woo Finn. Hope refused to give Steffy an explanation beyond how it appeared, despite Steffy's repeated requests. "You have an opportunity to come clean, but you refuse to give me your name because you are unable to do so." "Nobody is there," Steffy remarked. Hope remained mute. Hope was informed by Steffy that Brooke had been putting up with her pitiful play for Finn for years, but Steffy refused to tolerate it. "You're finished," Steffy said to Hope. "I want you gone today." Hope gasped. "You want me gone?" Hope inquired. Hope claimed she couldn't do this, and that Steffy hadn't given her an opportunity to clarify. Steffy reminded Hope that she was in charge of the business. When Hope first made a move on Finn, Steffy thought she ought to have fired her. Hope screamed, "You're not listening to me." "I have finished listening. You've been let go. Gather your belongings." "Now," yelled Steffy. Carter's pitch was discussed in the CEO's office by Taylor and Ridge. Although Ridge trusted Carter's judgment and believed in him, he didn't see why he was advocating for such a significant change. According to Taylor, Carter appeared to be on Hope's side. As Brooke walked into the office, she heard them conversing. She concurred with Carter and stated it was good to have someone else stand up for Hope for once. Brooke and Taylor got into a fight over Hope kissing Finn. Taylor understood Steffy's lack of faith in Hope. Brooke maintained that if Steffy relaxed, she would realize that Hope no longer desired Finn. Therefore there was no need for concern. Brooke clarified that Hope had been perplexed when Thomas left her. Brooke was informed by Taylor that Thomas had not left. He had wanted to wed Hope, but she had turned him down. Although Brooke concurred, he stated that Hope wasn't prepared for marriage. Taylor clapped back, stating that Hope had pursued a married man after Thomas left. Hope was no longer interested in Finn, Brooke reiterated. According to Brooke, things had changed since Hope had resolved her confusion and was now concentrating on her line and Beth. If that meant Hope was too busy for extracurricular activities, Taylor inquired. Brooke declared, she won't touch Finn again. After leaving Taylor and Ridge, Brooke carried on talking about Steffy and Hope. Ridge was reminded by Taylor that Hope had been acting strangely for a while. This might only be a lull until Hope tries to approach Finn again, she said. Taylor questioned whether they should simply believe Brooke when she said that Hope wouldn't approach Finn again. Brooke knew her daughter. Ridge said, "I'm so done with her," exclaimed Steffy as she entered the room upset. What was wrong? Her parents asked. Hope was wearing underwear on top of my husband when I walked into the design office. Taylor and Ridge were taken aback. Finn, Steffy clarified, was innocent and equally indignant as she was. I've had enough of her. She is ill, Steffy cried out. Ridge inquired about Hope's self-explanation. Hope said it was an accident, Steffy informed them. Steffy claimed to have let Hope go. Dad, I'm going to need your support for this. I will require your assistance, Steffy informed Ridge. The love triangle between Brooke, Carter, and Hope. The turning point that could make all the difference? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Hope Logan's mother-like traits have been the subject of much discussion in recent months. Although Hope never aspired to be like Brooke Logan, Steffy Forrester obviously believes she is an exact replica. Given how much emphasis has been placed on Brooke and Hope's similarities, perhaps this could lead to a new plot point. Hope has been the object of Carter Walton's attention, but what if he starts to show interest in another Logan? After all, Carter is currently pursuing Katie Logan's niece, after having a sexual relationship with her in the past. In order to complete the Logan trifecta, Carter might as well target Hope's mother as well. Carter has been standing up for other people lately besides Hope. It's important to remember that fans have heard Carter defend Brooke's numerous contributions to Forrester Creations. Additionally, Brooke is growing more grateful for Carter's willingness to defend Hope. If Brooke isn't cautious, that adoration can turn into a crush. Brooke has previously shared a romantic interest with a daughter. Fans of B&B will remember that Hope was conceived as a result of Brooke's sexual relations with Deacon Sharp during his marriage to Bridget Forrester. In some ways, it would seem appropriate if Brooke and Hope began dating at this point. There may be upcoming changes to Brooke's love life, which could bring terrible news. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke and Ridge Forrester's romance is about to go south. A separation between Ridge and Brooke might be imminent, particularly if B&B plans to reunite him with Taylor Hayes. Even though Brooke and Ridge are destined to be together, we all know that other romantic interests might get in the way. Ridge and Brooke might try things with other people before getting back together, even if they are still endgame. In any event, if Brooke separates from Ridge for a while, there's a chance she'll find love with someone else. What if Brooke hooks up with Carter, or falls in love with him? Can you picture Hope's response to such a turnabout? Maybe that's why the program ought to do it. A Brooke, Carter, and Hope love triangle might provide a great deal of drama. So we'll give you more predictions about the likelihood of it happening in the future. Giardino's Halloween decor. Deacon surveyed the interior of Il Giardino with a mix of pride and disbelief, his eyes drawn to the over-the-top Halloween decorations that now adorn the place. Sheila, dressed as a witch and clearly relishing the atmosphere, eagerly asked for his opinion. Like it? Just a few decorations, she said with a smirk. Deacon chuckled, slightly unnerved. When I said a few, I didn't mean, well, severed heads and axes hanging from the ceiling. It's a little intense. Sheila raised an eyebrow. Aren't you afraid, Deacon? She teased, leaning closer. Before he could respond, Carter entered the scene, glancing at the decorations with a raised eyebrow. He couldn't help but comment, it's definitely festive. However, his gaze soon turned serious as he approached Deacon. I actually wanted to have a word with you, Deacon began, his tone a little more guarded. I've heard you and my daughter have been spending some time together. Carter nodded thoughtfully, understanding Deacon's protective stance over Hope, especially with her recent struggles. I know Steffy's been tough on her, but I'm here to support her however I can. Hope's dedicated to her line, and she wants to make a difference. Deacon sighed, clearly conflicted. Brooke always says you're a good guy, Carter. I just want Hope to be okay. Lately she seems happier. I'd like to see that continue. With Sheila bustling in and out with Halloween-themed drinks and treats, Deacon and Carter chatted more about Hope's recent challenges and Deacon's hopes for her. Carter assured him that no matter what, he would always be there to support both Hope and her mother, Brooke, within Forrester. An awkward encounter with Finn. Meanwhile, at Forrester Creations, Hope sat alone in the design office, her mind racing with ideas as she browsed through a new lingerie collection. She considered modeling a few pieces herself, thinking it might inspire some creative direction. Choosing an outfit, she quickly went behind a screen to change. Finn, carrying Steffy's tablet and unaware of Hope's presence, entered the office to leave a note on Steffy's desk. Lost in thought, he barely registered Hope's voice calling, locked the door, mistaking him for someone else. As Hope stepped out from behind the screen, she stumbled over him, and both fell onto the desk in a flurry of confusion. Just then Steffy entered, her expression turning to shock as she took in the scene. Hope, dressed in lingerie, lay over Finn, who looked just as startled. "Hope, what do you think you're doing?" Steffy's voice was sharp, filled with anger and betrayal. "You're throwing yourself at my husband again." Finn immediately tried to defuse the situation, explaining that he had no idea what was going on. But Steffy's focus remained squarely on Hope, her temper barely in check. "Is this some kind of game to you, Hope?" Steffy confronts Hope. Hope, flustered, tried to explain, insisting it was a misunderstanding. But Steffy, her patience long worn out, wouldn't have any of it. "Don't give me that misunderstanding line. Why else would you be in lingerie here with my husband?" Hope stammered, reluctant to admit her reason. But her silence only fueled Steffy's suspicion. "Typical Logan behavior," Steffy seethed. "I've tolerated you long enough. But this, you're done." Hope gasped, taken aback by Steffy's words. "You're firing me. I'm in charge here and you're out, Hope." Steffy's voice was resolute, leaving no room for argument. "Gather your things and go." CEO's office, the ripple effect. Meanwhile, in the CEO's office, Ridge and Taylor discuss Carter's recent proposal for Forrester, wondering about his fervent support for Hope. Ridge, while trusting Carter's instincts, sensed the shift in company dynamics and questioned whether it was wise. Just as Taylor and Ridge's discussion grew more intense, Brooke entered, overhearing their concerns about Hope's involvement. Brooke defended Hope, stating she deserved someone in her corner, especially since Steffy seemed to be continuously challenging her. Tensions escalated as Brooke and Taylor clashed over Steffy's lack of trust in Hope, with Taylor pointing out Hope's previous pursuit of married men. Brooke argued that Hope had moved on from her past mistakes and was fully focused on her career and Beth. But Taylor questioned how long Hope's resolve would last. Steffy's revelation. Soon after, Steffy stormed into the office, visibly shaken and furious. Her parents looked on concerned. Ridge asked what was wrong, and Steffy recounted the shocking scene she'd walked in on. Hope in lingerie, sprawled over Finn at the design office. Both Ridge and Taylor were stunned, trying to process what Steffy had described. Finn, she explained, was innocent, just as angry and confused as she was, but she couldn't trust Hope anymore. "I fired her. I'm done with this cycle. I need your support on this, Dad," Steffy said firmly, looking at Ridge for reassurance. Taylor, meanwhile, cast a wary glance at Brooke, silently wondering how the family would move forward in light of Steffy's drastic decision. Scene 6, Aftermath and New Alliances. With Hope's abrupt departure from Forrester Creations, Carter, Brooke, and Deacon gathered to consider the fallout. Carter, a staunch ally of Hope, worried about her future and what this might mean for her line. Brooke, equally concerned, remained adamant that Steffy was being unreasonable and that her distrust had reached a tipping point. Deacon, on the other hand, saw this as an opportunity for Hope to reassess her path. He encouraged her to view this setback as a chance for reinvention. Back at Il Giardino, Sheila couldn't hide her glee upon hearing about the drama unfolding at Forrester. The tension, she mused, could only mean more openings for manipulation and power plays, leaving her grinning in anticipation. Hope's emotional turmoil. Following her dismissal, Hope finds herself in a state of shock and devastation. Alone in her office, she reflects on the intense confrontation with Steffy, replaying the accusations in her mind. Her intentions had been innocent, yet circumstances had spiraled against her. Feeling cornered and humiliated, she wonders how she'll explain this to Brooke, her mother, who has always defended her. Hope resolves to face Steffy one last time, hoping to clear the air, but she knows deep down that it may already be too late. Meanwhile, she confides in Carter, who expresses disbelief at Steffy's hasty decision. Carter, feeling protective of Hope, vows to advocate for her within the company, but Hope knows the damage is done. This emotional exchange stirs something between Hope and Carter, who've recently grown closer through shared frustrations at Forrester. Their shared sense of loss and resilience could hint at a potential romantic connection brewing beneath the surface, complicating the dynamics even further. Steffy's determination and Finn's conflict. At home, Steffy confides in Finn, convinced that dismissing Hope was the right move. Finn, however, begins to wonder if Hope's actions were truly as malicious as Steffy believes. While he supports his wife, he finds himself sympathizing with Hope, sensing that perhaps she's been misunderstood. Finn's internal conflict creates tension in his relationship with Steffy, who expects his unconditional support. Finn grapples with how to express his concern without undermining Steffy's authority. As they discuss the incident, Steffy's insecurities resurface, remembering past betrayals and broken trusts. This moment not only reinforces her distrust, but also ignites her desire to protect her marriage at all costs, even if it means alienating Hope forever. Steffy's decision to double down on her stance foreshadows more conflicts with her family, who may view her actions as excessive. Brooke and Ridge's reaction. In the CEO's office, Ridge and Taylor try to make sense of Steffy's account of events. Brooke, still confident in her daughter's innocence, demands a fair review of the incident. Ridge is torn, understanding both Steffy's and Brooke's perspectives, but Taylor supports Steffy's decision. Brooke warns Ridge that casting Hope out might harm the family more than he realizes. As Brooke's frustration mounts, she begins to consider an ultimatum. If Ridge and the Forresters won't support Hope, she may encourage her daughter to launch her own independent line. This idea unsettles Ridge, who values family unity, but he also recognizes Brooke's determination to protect Hope. Scene 10. Hope's farewell and new beginnings. Back at Forrester Creations, Hope prepares to leave, saying her tearful goodbyes to the team. Her departure stirs feelings among the staff, who question Steffy's leadership decision and its impact on morale. As Hope packs her things, Carter reaffirms his loyalty to her, hinting that he may leave Forrester as well to support her new ventures. At Il Giardino, Deacon encourages Hope to use this setback as an opportunity to forge her own path. He reminds her that Logan women are resilient and resourceful, which renews her confidence. Hope's thoughts drift toward starting a brand new line outside of Forrester, but she hesitates, knowing this decision would create a permanent rift with Steffy and possibly her father. Scene 11. Sheila's calculations. Watching from the sidelines, Sheila revels in the drama. She sees Hope's exit as a chance to meddle further in Steffy's life, perhaps by sowing seeds of discord between Finn and Steffy. Sheila contemplates reaching out to Hope, intending to manipulate her emotions and fan the flames of rivalry with Steffy. Her machinations hint at a dark plot she has in store for the Forrester family, possibly involving Finn's loyalty and Hope's potential new venture. The aftermath and emerging alliances. With Hope gone, Steffy faces new pressures as the co-CEO. The staff's morale is visibly affected, and key members express doubts about the abrupt decision. Ridge and Taylor try to mitigate the internal fallout, but tensions within the family escalate. Even Thomas, who usually stands by his sister, starts to question her judgment. As Hope begins exploring the idea of her own brand, she gains unexpected allies, including Brooke and Carter. Carter, intrigued by the potential of a fresh start, encourages Hope to consider a partnership. The idea excites them both, leading to discussions about the direction, branding, and design ethos for a new fashion line that could rival Forrester Creations. Steffy's realization and regret. Weeks pass, and Steffy starts to realize the weight of her decision. The once close family atmosphere at Forrester Creations feels strained. Finn, seeing how the feud has affected both families, encourages Steffy to consider reconciliation. Although Steffy is reluctant, Finn's words linger, and she begins to wonder if dismissing Hope was a mistake. Meanwhile, Steffy learns that Hope and Carter are planning a new line, and that it's gaining traction among Forrester's clients. This news unsettles her, prompting her to consider whether her decision was based on personal insecurities rather than what was best for the business. Torn between pride and concern for the company, Steffy contemplates reaching out to Hope to mend fences. A new rivalry begins. With Hope's brand launch imminent, the rivalry between her and Steffy reaches new heights. Both women find themselves at odds in the fashion world, battling not only for market share, but also for family loyalty and validation. Steffy feels the pressure to protect Forrester's legacy, while Hope, motivated by past injustices, aims to prove her worth outside of Forrester Creations. Their competitive energy spurs innovation, with each woman determined to outshine the other. As Hope's new line gathers acclaim, the tension in their family intensifies, impacting relationships across generations. Forgiveness and redemption? In a surprising twist, a family crisis forces Hope and Steffy to confront their differences and work together. The circumstances require them to set aside their grudges, leading to moments of vulnerability and self-reflection. Gradually, both women come to see the other's perspective, realizing the weight of their actions on their families and careers. Steffy extends an olive branch, acknowledging her faults and asking Hope for forgiveness. Hope, though hesitant, accepts, signaling the beginning of a fragile truce. Their reconciliation doesn't erase past grievances, but serves as a step toward healing and growth, leaving room for new dynamics within their family and at Forrester Creations. This storyline takes a deep dive into the complex emotions, power dynamics, and personal growth that Hope and Steffy experience, showcasing how their rivalry and family tensions evolve over time. The narrative explores betrayal, resilience, and ultimately, the possibility of redemption, a classic arc that resonates deeply with soap opera fans.